The income of urban elderly is 5 times that of rural elderly. Nearly 60% of the elderly prefer to choose Western medicine for treatment. Nearly half of the elderly can only afford nursing homes under 1,000 yuan. Recently released 5th National Sample Survey on the living conditions of urban and rural elderly analyzes the basic situation of the elderly population in China, including family, health, economy, and spiritual cultural life. This survey was jointly initiated by the Ministry of Civil Affairs, the Office of the Aging, the National Health Commission, the Ministry of Finance, the China Aging Association, and the Family Planning Association. The survey shows that elderly people aged 60 to 69 account for 56.2%. Those aged 70 to 79 account for 30.4%, and those aged 80 and above account for 13.4%. Among the elderly, 74.7% are married, 22.0% are widowed, 1.6% are divorced, and 1.8% have never married. This means that many people remain single for their entire lives. Among urban elderly, men account for 47.6% and women for 50.4%. Among rural elderly, men account for 49.1% and women for 50.9%. This indicates that women tend to live longer. Among the elderly, 41.6% suffer from hypertension, 23.1% suffer from lumbar disease, and 20.1% suffer from arthritis. Hypertension is the most prevalent chronic disease among the elderly. 22.5% of elderly people participate in urban employees' basic medical insurance. 75.2% participate in urban and rural residents' basic medical insurance, and 2.8% participate in commercial health insurance. Most elderly people have purchased urban and rural residents' basic medical insurance. Among the elderly, 9.1% prefer traditional Chinese medicine for treatment, 55.9% prefer Western medicine, 32.8% prefer a combination of Chinese and Western medicine, and 2.3% prefer other options. This indicates that the majority of elderly people tend to choose Western medicine for treatment. Among the elderly who are willing to enter nursing institutions, 46.1% can afford no more than 1,000 yuan per month. 22.6% can afford 1,999 yuan per month. 15.6% can afford 2,000 to 2,999 yuan per month. And 15.8% can afford 3,000 yuan or more per month. Nearly half of the elderly can only afford nursing homes under 1,000 yuan. In terms of income, the average annual income of urban elderly is 47,270.8 yuan, with a median annual income of 28,800 yuan. The average annual income of rural elderly is 14,105.4 yuan, with a median annual income of 5,640 yuan. Urban elderly have an income that is 5 times that of rural elderly. In terms of expenses, the average annual daily living expenses for urban elderly are 14,908.5 yuan, while for rural elderly, they are 6,733.9 yuan. Urban elderly's daily expenses are twice that of rural elderly. The top 5 activities that elderly people participate in the most are: watching TV, listening to the radio accounts for 88.6%. Walking, jogging accounts for 59.7%. Gardening accounts for 27.5%. Reading books, newspapers accounts for 23.9%. And playing mahjong, cards, chess accounts for 16.0%. Among the elderly, 36.6% can use smartphones. 40.4% cannot use smartphones, and 23.0% do not own a smartphone. Less than 40% of elderly people can use smartphones.